This meeting is now being recorded.
Good morning, everyone. This is Lenita Hartman. Welcome to the first call of 2016, and we are glad that you've joined us this morning. Ashley and I will be covering the call and going over some updates about CAPTA, the next phase of the SIP, and we're going to share our direction moving forward in the early intervention program, and then we have a few updates and reminders. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Ashley so she can talk a little bit about CAPTA referrals. Ashley?
All right, good morning, everyone. So the CAPTA referrals, so Christy has sent out a communication brief, I believe last week or early Monday, regarding the new process for the CAPTA referrals. So a little bit of a background with the new process is the EI program reports monthly through the CDHS CSTAT process on the percent of children referred through the CAPTA process who complete eligibility. So the data does not include children who do not appear in the CCB as referrals. Several methods have been tried to ensure that CAPTA referrals are made to and received by the CCBs. You will remember that I believe a year ago we were sending out a list of children referred through the CAPTA process for about a month period that was 3 months back, and we were asking you guys to track that. That wasn't the most useful way to spend everybody's time. And then we also went into, and we were sending them in the most recent one prior to us going live through the trail system, is that you guys were receiving the referrals for the past 2 weeks and following up with them that way. So it was reflecting more real-time referrals. And so the new process is that workers are going to now be able to send the referral directly through the Trails system onto the CCB. So with the processes that we've had in the last one, there's been a slight increase in the number of referrals made by child welfare that are documented and received in the EI data system. So the percent found through the last method was about 70% of the referrals. So it was varying between 70% and up to about 76% each month that we were finding of the referrals that we were sending on to you guys. Adjusting for a small percentage of the mismatches were the name spellings, the date of birth, it would be expected that about 95% of the referrals from Trails would be documented in the EI system. So it's going to reflect a lot more accurately about the referrals that you guys are receiving. One of the reasons why we decided to make this change is that we've heard from the CCB staff that it's a little bit better if they can get the referrals on a more real-time basis and not for a 2-week time period, because that way the CCBs are receiving multiple referrals and having to follow up with them. And within that time period, sometimes the phone numbers change, children have moved, everybody knows. So now it's going to be real time. The referrals are going to be coming directly from Trails. This update went into effect yesterday. So just a quick follow-up, or I want to check in with some CCBs about, has anybody been receiving any of the referrals from Trails?
All guests have been unmuted.
Hey Ashley, this is Beth at Rocky Mountain.
Hey Beth.
We received one this morning, but we received it twice. We got a duplicate. So
okay.
It's sent twice.
Did it send to the same place twice?
It did. It's sent to our confirmed email address twice.
Okay. Okay. Has anybody else?
This is Sharon at Inspiration Field, and we got one yesterday.
Okay. And did you just get one, or did you get a duplicate?
I only got the one.
Okay.
Hi, this is Joy with DDRC. Excuse me, and we got 2 yesterday and 1 today.
Okay. And did they look okay?
Yeah, they look great.
Good.
That's cool.
So the duplicate record might just be, they may have just pressed to send it over twice.
Okay, I'll let you know if it keeps happening.
What does the subject line say when we get it from Trails? I'm going to look that up, and I will try to put that in the comment section prior to ending this phone call today. So I'll try to get that to you, Sarah. Okay. Well, I'm glad it seems to be working pretty well then. Okay, so as soon as within the communication brief that Christy did send, this is just kind of reiterating that is that as soon as the referrals are received to the CCB, the 45-day timeline for the MDA and the initial IFSP meeting begins. So it begins as soon as the referral is received by the CCB. So matches will be conducted at the end of each month to determine the success of the new process. So if we're going to be continuing to do that match, and if we do not match a child in the system where a referral was sent on, we will send you guys an updated list or a reminder email to see if you guys did get that referral, what happened to it, and just to follow up with that. So we will do that for a couple months, just leading up to make sure that the new process is successful. We will also be offering ongoing assistance, so if anybody has any questions about the referrals or when they get them and they're not sure, they're more than welcome to give either myself a call, or just give myself a call, I should say, and I can assist as needed. And does anybody have any questions?
This is Tara from Community Connections. Are we off mute?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So I don't know if this is a question or a concern. We haven't received any yet, which is not unusual because we're, a pretty small catchment area. So, the fact that we haven't had one this week is not unusual. But I would be interested to see what exactly will be generated out of the trail system. We have been trying to work with our counties to use the actual state EI referral form, because what we have found in looking at our data, and I think is pretty consistent with the statewide data, is we have an awful lot of CAPTA referrals that we do receive that never go on to evaluation. And I think generally this is as a result of kind of poor communication with and buy-in from the families before we're even trying to reach out to them. And so we're kind of hoping to use the referral form as a method for county intake workers to actually have a discussion with the family before we make that outreach to them. And so I'm really concerned that this process, while we may be getting more referrals, they won't necessarily be better referrals. It kind of takes a little bit of the onus off of the county worker to have that initial setup and conversation with the family if they can just push a button in Trails.
So that's a really good point. This is Lenita, and we're going to be discussing this here in a minute. So that's a great segue. But I think it's not the intention that will replace the conversations that caseworkers are having with the families, and we are really depending on your feedback and input to identify the training and technical assistance, not only that we need within the early intervention community, but if you are struggling with that with your community partners, what do we need to get in place in order for them to have conversations with families to encourage them and to talk intelligently about what early intervention is. And so that's some of the work that we're doing with the CAPTA work group. So we should talk about community connections, specifically offline, and what you guys are already engaged in, and how Lorindia Schmidt out of Child Welfare and I can support you with in getting those actually to evaluation and services.
Sounds good.
All guests have been muted.
Oops. Sorry, Ashley.
All guests have been unmuted.
Sorry.
So just to follow up with what does the subject line look like that you're going to be receiving, it just says encrypt in the subject line. And then when you open it up, it says in a new secure email message from the state of Colorado. And you can open it so it is a secure email that you will be sent. And as you guys know, this last week I had emailed everybody to request an updated email address. So right now the Trail system is only able to send an email to one recipient. If you guys need to change that email or anything in the future, please let us know. And Lorindia Schmidt, as Lenita had said, she'll be able to change those emails in Trails.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. Thank you, Ashley.
All guests have been muted.
Okay, so I did want to give you a little update about the CAPTA work group. We are continuing to meet monthly, and this is a cross-agency statewide work group. So we do have representation from child welfare at the state level and the local level, in addition to ABCD and JFK Partners and CDE, so that we can make sure that we're supporting what's happening locally. So we're in the process now that the CAPTA FAQ is live. We are identifying what is needed in various communities around training and technical assistance. So again, reach out to me if you have specific training and TA needs or questions. And we're really focusing again on supporting caseworkers in making referrals and following through with families, so it isn't just, okay, we're going to move this on, and you give the families a call and they have no idea what EI is and are not open to moving forward. The other work that you should know about but applies more to Part B is really identifying entities to refer 3- and 4-year-olds to, because just as a reminder, it's a state requirement that children that are 3 and 4 with a substantiated case of abuse and neglect are referred for developmental screening, but it doesn't identify to which agency. And so we often, as a default, do refer to Child Find, and we need to work on supporting communities and having multiple resources and agencies to refer for children on when they're a little bit older. And the other work that we're really looking at is following up when a child welfare assessment becomes a case, and you know, what's happening as there's an ongoing open case, and then really talking about roles and expectations within community partnerships so that we can have robust conversations about what needs to happen and further understanding of the frequently asked questions document. So there have been some adjustments to that in terms of, you know, accessibility, usability. So if you are regularly using it, please check it out so you can see what has changed. And if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, please check that out. So we do have a question about who is the CCB rep on the CAPTA work group. And right now, it's Jody Litfin from Rocky Mountain Human Services, and she is there in a dual role because she's there also on behalf of COAIM. So we are open to having more CCB representation. So if you're interested, again, let me know. In the past, we did have representation from DDRC, but I don't think that individual is attending regularly, so it would be helpful to have another CCB rep. Okay. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the State Systemic Improvement Plan. We are moving into phase 2. So we have identified the work in which we want to engage in and improve quality practices. So as you probably are all aware, those activities include the creation of the new statewide data system, the Unicorn, which is up and running and is still, getting enhancements and improvements. And in addition to that, it's the integration of the IFSP and the Child Outcomes Measurement process, which we're calling Go For It. And finally, the last but not least, making sure that we are providing family assessment across the state for families that choose to participate in that. So those are the activities that we're engaged in. So now it's time, as we're implementing and carrying those out, to take a closer look at that. And so right now, all 20 CCBs are offering family assessment through the use of the routines-based interview, the FACETs or the SAFER, and 5 community center boards are currently serving as early implementation communities for Go For It, and they are beginning to try out these practices as we speak. And so it's no secret that that leaves 15 more community-centered boards over the next 2 years that will need to implement this process and integrate it into their current practices. So be looking for more information about this, because we will identify the next cohort this spring. And we know that there's a lot of work to be done with that still. So the Programs Initiative Unit is really responsible for that early implementation piece. So that's myself and Laura and Wayla. And as a result of that, we're looking at the phase 2 evaluation piece and working very closely with the General Supervision and Data Unit to create an evaluation plan. So what we need to submit to the Office of Special Education Programs, the template, the plan for that will be completed by March 1st, which will allow an opportunity for review and submission, which will be due April 1st. So we are working on that. And the evaluation activities and assessment activities are currently being developed, and that's primarily going to be headed by the General Supervision and Data Unit. And that's really going to include self-assessment tools that community center boards can use to determine quality of family assessment, and in turn, if we are seeing an improvement in the quality of IFSP outcomes. We will also be looking at evaluating components of the Go For It initiative related to implementation. So is what we're doing with these processes impacting the quality? Do we see the integration, informing the IFSP outcomes and family engagement in this process? And as the 5 early implementation communities try out these new processes and make adjustments and recommendations, the early intervention staff in turn will be evaluating effectiveness. So that's the cycle that we're in, and we're excited about the next phase of this work as we move forward. So you'll be hearing directly from Christy soon. She intended to present this section today and was not able to join us. And she really wanted us to share a little about our work moving forward and just give you an update about our structure and where we are with this transition as Christy takes over the leadership of our program, and we're really delighted to support her in this position. So just wanted to draw your attention to our org chart, and you can see that there's just a little bit of restructuring. We did determine that it would be more effective if Tracy Sperry, as our program assistant, was working directly with Christy to support the entire early intervention team. So she has been moved out of the program initiatives unit. And you can see that within our EI team, we have the program initiatives unit. We have the fiscal accountability unit that Beth Cole oversees. And then we have the general supervision and data unit where the data specialist, which is Ashley's position, and you can see that we are also interested in creating a new position within general supervision and data to really support the evaluation, supervision, and monitoring component of that work. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So here's just a quick rundown of our roles. And the general supervision and data management position is vacant, obviously, as Christy is taking on the new role. She is currently serving in this role in addition to the EI program director position. So that position is going to be posted very soon, and we will let you know when that's posted, and we hope that there may be some interested candidates from community center boards. So if you're interested in thinking about work at the state level, please be on the lookout for that posting, in addition to this new posting that we're talking about. But that won't be, we're going to hire the general supervision and data manager position first, because we want them to have a hand in determining the best individual for the new position we're creating. We are also considering contracting for short-term projects throughout our team as necessary. So that's another opportunity as well. In terms of program direction, we are very busy updating and revising position descriptions to reflect the work that is actually being done and to align it more closely with our SIP activities. And we just want to be thoughtful about, do we have folks in the right positions, utilizing their expertise and supporting you as best as we can. So we're also really looking at evaluating the work that we've done to ask, are we doing it this way because we've always done it this way? Does this make the most sense moving forward as we make a transition to some new leadership? So bear with us. There may be some changes afoot. Some things may remain the same, but we also anticipate the need for some changes. We're also really looking at the training and technical assistance to determine effectiveness in meeting local program needs. And we really are committed to moving toward having training and technical assistance available to you online so that it's accessible when your staff needs it, when service coordinators, providers, EI directors, Child Find can access it, so that, and that you can also use that to add and enhance the training that you're offering locally. So right now we are exploring, we do have access to a learning platform called Articulate, and we do anticipate shifting some required training into that. We anticipate that we will be contacting you to serve on focus groups and get feedback about what training you would like to see in addition to what we already offer, if it needs to be adjusted, if there are pieces of training and technical assistance you feel you need that you aren't currently receiving, so things of that nature. So we'll be communicating more fully about that in the upcoming months. So really going to be working on training and technical assistance this year. Okay, so I'm going to unmute your lines. If you have any questions or comments about some of the information I just shared, we'd love to hear it.
All guests have been unmuted.
Any questions or feedback about this next phase of evaluation and assessment or training and technical assistance? And please, if you think of something, feel free to email Christy or myself or anyone on the team with questions or suggestions, because we really want to get your perspective on this. Okay, so the next topic of conversation is the statewide meeting. So I'm sure you're wondering about the details. We are still determining the best location. We do know that it will be in the Denver metro area this year. We have it narrowed down to a few locations. Registration for this meeting is posted on the EI Colorado website, and I encourage you to register as soon as possible so that we can get an accurate count for the venue. So that way we can finalize the venue and anticipate hotel accommodations. So when you go onto the EI Colorado website, please put in the comments if you need a hotel and for how many nights. And the guidelines for the state compensating you for this is if you are 65 miles away or more, we will pay for your hotel stay. The dates are May 11th and 12th, and the first day will be 8:30 to 5, and the second day will be 8 to 3:30, and that's based on feedback that we've received in the past. This year, as years past, we will be funding 2 participants. So we highly encourage the EI director or coordinator to attend and bring an additional person that you feel it's relevant for. This year, we are really working hard to find a space that will accommodate at least 60 people. And if you are interested in bringing additional participants, we're asking that you register them, and it'll be on a first-come, first-served basis. And so we will cap it at 60, and so when we're full, we're full. So if you have need of additional people and you have the funds to support them, you're welcome to register. Any questions about the statewide meeting? Yes, we have a question. Can you send in potential agenda items for the state meeting? Absolutely. Please, if there's something that you would like to see covered or addressed, please send those to me. That would be great. Just a reminder that interagency agreements are due to me. They were due on January 4th, and that is even if you did not make changes or adjustments to your interagency agreements, please send them on just your most current signed copies so that we have those on record. We're required to make sure that we have those. I do read through them. If I see any glaring concerns, I will reach out to you and support you in getting those updated for your next round. And just a reminder, if you have any kind of monetary agreement involved, it really should be moved into a contract because interagency agreements are not legally enforceable. And so if there's an exchange of funds, you really want to shift that to a contract. Good news, the SAFER is now available in Spanish, and I have word from Wayla that it is now posted on the website. So if those of you that were waiting for the SAFER to be available, it is now available in Spanish. Just wanted to draw your attention to some upcoming training and professional development opportunities. The Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference will be occurring on February 19th and 20th. It's a little early this year. And there is an inclusion track this year, which is really exciting that has been added, so it'll be a little more relevant to our work. So we encourage you to look at that and sign up if you're interested. The Conference on Inclusive Education will be held at the Renaissance Hotel in Denver on February 25th and 26th. Our next IFSP training will be held here on March 30th, and then the 2-day core training will occur soon after on April 4th and 5th. And just as a reminder, the next CICC meeting will be at Developmental Pathways on April 20th, and that is open. And that's an open meeting if you're interested in coming and hearing what's happening with our advisory group. Also, we have a save the date for an inclusion and accountability conference in Keystone. There is a fee associated with that, and that is in mid-June. But just a note, there are scholarships available for the first 20 early intervention participants, so that can be family members, if you have someone in mind, service coordinators, providers, directors. So we will be sending out registration information for that soon. Then we have a family opportunity, the Parents Encouraging Parents Conference, which is really a wonderful conference for families, has openings for both January and April. And you can see that if you need more information or need to register, we attached the link here. If you have further questions about this, please contact Wayla, who's involved in this great work as part of our team. Okay, we do have a question if the unicorn training is now included in the IFSP training. It is not at this time, and it's kind of a standalone training right now.
And we were doing our weekly webinars every Monday, and they are now going to be the last Monday of every month at the same time as they always were. So the first one is going to be, I know I just said it's the same time as they always were. However, the first one will be on January 25th, and it'll be from 3:30 to 4:30. So any topic or items that you want to discuss or go over, please send that email over to me. And this is Ashley, by the way. So go ahead and send me the email of what you would like to discuss on one of those webinars.
Okay, great. Does anyone have any announcements that you would like to share while we are on the call together today? Or questions and comments? Okay, well that concludes the end of our call for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to talking with you next month. Thank you.